Yes, in my second lecture, I have solved some numerical problems on inventory first model, and then I have explained the inventory model in which lead time is there. Lead time is not zero. Today I will take one question on inventory model in which lead time is not zero, and then I will explain the inventory model in which demands are uncertain, and sometimes demand and lead time both are uncertain. Okay, now I start. Question on EOQ model with lead time and shortage is not allowed. The question is this: neon lights in an industrial park replaced at the rate of 100 units per day. The physical plant orders the neon lights periodically. It costs bill 100 to initiate a purchase order. C0 is 100 bill. A neon light kept in storage is estimated to cost about bill 0.02 per day. The lead time between placing and receiving order is 12 days. Determine the inventory policy for ordering the neon lights. Inventory policy means we have to find the inventory level at which we have to place an order. And in case of this lead time, if lead time exceeds the cycle time, so then we have to define, as in my second lecture I have explained, we have to define the lead time LE, which is given by this formula. So, and then what is the inventory level? Inventory level is equal to LE into D. In case if lead time is not exceeding the cycle time, then it is simply L into D. So whenever the inventory level is reached to L into D or LE into D, we have to place an order. So therefore in this, first of all we have to find the Q optimum, and with the help of Q optimum we can find T optimum, which is the optimal or optimum cycle time, and then we have to compare whether the lead time is more than the cycle time or not more than the cycle time. And in case if lead time is more than the cycle time, then we have to define this LE. Lead time is 12 days. C0 this, C1 this, and D is equal to 100 units per day. Now the Q optimum formula is 2dC0 by C1, and this is equal to 1000 neon light. And now T optimum is equal to Q optimum by D is equal to, because D into T gives you Q optimum, and this is equal to 1000 by 100 is equal to 10 days. The cycle time is 10 days. The lead time 12 days and the cycle time 10 days. So therefore lead time is more than the cycle time. We have to find the effective lead time. The effective lead time formula, as I explained in my second lecture, is L minus M into T optimum, where this N is L by T optimum, or largest integer less than or equal to L by T optimum, and L is 12 days and T optimum 10 days is equal to 1.2, but as we have to find, we have to use only the largest integer up to this 12 by 10, which is 1. So therefore the effective lead time is equal to 12 minus N into T. N is 1 and this is equal to 2 days. The effective lead time is 2 days. So the reorder point is when the inventory level will be reaching or drops to the, because we are supplying the item and we have to find the inventory level at which we have to place an order. So drops to LE into D is equal to 200 neon light. So therefore, whenever the inventory level will be reaching to 200 units, we have to place an order, and order of 1000 neon light, of course. So this is about the model in which lead time not zero, shortage is not allowed. So in this case, in this type of model, we have to find the inventory level, we have to find the value of inventory at which the order is to be placed. For optimal solution of the problem, we have to find what should be the inventory level at which we have to place an order. Now up to now we were doing the inventory models in which demand is deterministic, and there are not only those models which I have discussed, there are many models in inventory. For example, one model is there with deterministic inventory in which shortages are allowed. Another type of model is this, that in which demand rate is not constant, and in that case the cycle time will be different for the inventory. For first inventory, it may be say T1, for second inventory T2, for third inventory T3. So we have to use that concept. And another inventory model is also there. Suppose we are going to purchase and at the same time we are going to supply the item also, and in that case the inventory, we can say it will be like this, and then like this. Because we are starting supplying and we are also keeping in inventory, so then whenever, so this will be like this. And now so therefore in this case I am discussing the inventory model with uncertain demand. Demand is not certain, demand is changing, we can say. So the demand of the lead time, sometimes both demand and lead time are both uncertain. So these uncertainties in consumption and lead time are faced by maintaining extra stock. We have to maintain the extra stock so that we can fulfill the uncertain demand. This extra stock is termed as safety stock or reserve stock or buffer stock. But all these three are not same. The reserve stock is maintained to take care of variation in demand during reorder period, while safety stock is maintained to take care of variation in lead time. Both reserve stock and safety stock are added to take care of running out of stock. So in this case, we have to find the value of the buffer stock to be sure that we will not be running out of stock. So in general, additional stock level is based on following criteria: probability of known or unknown shortages, probability of delay in lead time, maximum delay, demand in lead time, and desired service level of customer service. So sometimes we are also asked to the customer satisfaction in terms of the probability or desired service level, we can say. Buffer stock, For an average demand during average lead time, the additional stock is termed as buffer stock, and buffer stock is equal to average demand into average lead time. For example, suppose that for an item the monthly consumption is of 150 units, the normal and maximum lead times are 10 days and 30 days respectively. So then buffer stock will be equal to average demand 150 by 30 and average this lead time. This is 10 plus 30 divided by 2. This average, and product of these two quantities, average demand and average lead time, gives us the buffer stock. Now, when no stock out are required, buffer stock is equal to maximum this daily demand during lead time, average demand, not daily demand, this is demand during lead time, demand during lead time, and minus average demand during lead time. So when demand varies and lead times is constant, reorder level is equal to ROL, average demand during lead time plus buffer stock. Second, when demand rate varies about average demand during a constant lead time period, the prediction of exact demand during lead time period becomes difficult. Therefore, the reorder level is defined as average demand during lead time into lead time. However, this policy of setting reorder level results in stock out for about 50% time during lead time period. Thus, to avoid chance of stock of out to occur, a buffer stock would be needed, and reorder level is determined as follows. Reorder level is equal to average demand during lead time plus buffer stock. Now the sample problem of this. The monthly demand for an electronic machine is approximately 600 units. Every time an order is placed, a fixed cost of bit 80 is incurred. The daily holding cost per inventory is 0.40 or 40 cents, we can say. If the lead time is 10 days, determine EOQ and the number of orders per month. In the past 2 months, the demand rate has gone as high as 50. Maximum demand rate, we can say, for a reordering system based on inventory level. What should be the buffer stock? We have to find the buffer stock. What should be the reorder level at this buffer stock, and what should be the carrying cost? So we have to solve this problem. Solution of the sample problem. Demand is given in the problem 600 units per month, and C0 is 80 per order, C1 0.40 bid per unit per day, and lead time 10 days. Now EOQ, optimum quantity of inventory, we can say, or economic order quantity. Q optimum is equal to square root of 2D C0 by C1. Substituting the value of D, C0 and C1, we get 490 units. And number of order, the number of order can be obtained by dividing the demand by Q optimum, that is approximately 1 order per month we can say, and the average consumption is 600 by 30, that is 20 units per day. Since maximum consumption is of 50 units per day, it is given in the problem. Buffer stock is equal to maximum minus minimum into demand week consumption we can say into lead time, and that is equal to 30 into 10, that is 300 units. Buffer stock is 300 units. So in the inventory policy they are required to keep 300 units in the buffer stock. Reorder level as per formula, average demand during lead time plus buffer stock. Average lead time 20 into 10 plus 300 is equal to 500. 500 units. And average inventory level, buffer stock, average inventory level, buffer stock plus half Q optimum, because the average inventory in my first lecture we have done it was half QT, but dividing it by T per unit time we can say it was half Q, and buffer stock also the inventory. So the total inventory we can say buffer stock plus the quantity, optimal quantity that is to be kept in the inventory is half Q. So buffer stock plus half Q is 1 by 2 of this 490 is equal to 545 units, and thus this inventory is including the buffer stock also. Thus inventory carrying cost will 545 into 0.40 is equal to bill 218. So this is the inventory carrying cost, because we have to pay the inventory carrying cost on the total inventory including the optimum value of the inventory plus buffer stock. Average inventory half Q optimum. So thus inventory carrying cost is this. So this is the solution of the problem.